He actually played better than I thought he would. He made some really good throws there. He was sabotaged by Judy with the interception that should have been a touchdown. It was a huge challenge for anybody to be in quarterback yesterday when they start at the 1/2 yard line and all that goofy stuff is going on against a good team that needed to win on the road in that cold weather. So I thought he actually played better than I thought he would. He made a few good.
Well. Talk about a change of events. Shedeur Sanders' biggest hater, the one who spent months proclaiming he doesn't deserve to be on any NFL roster, just flipped his entire stance on the Browns quarterback. Tony Grossi, who was never a fan of Sanders, who questioned everything from his arm strength to his desire to play football, has openly proclaimed that the rookie is deserving of being Cleveland's franchise quarterback.
But still, I thought Shedeur contributed more than I expected. He exceeded my expectations. Everyone knows what, I've been critical of him, and he played really well, I thought.
Yeah, you heard that right. The same reporter who dismissed Sanders' training camp success as touch football, the same guy who asked on live radio whether Sanders even wanted to play, the same veteran journalist who left no stone unturned in his mission to humiliate the rookie at every opportunity.
What do you say when you hear that narrative that the Browns are
mistreating him?
Yes.
I shake my head. I don't understand it at all. They complicated their own situation by drafting him when they did. The fewest reps in camp, and he's got a sore arm. Why? Well, people say he throws a lot before practice and after practice. Well, how counterproductive is that?
I'm sure there's a method to the madness.
What is it?
He's trying to get his arm right, Tone. I'm sure he's probably practiced more now than he has at any point in his collegiate career.
Well, it obviously was counterproductive because he's got a sore arm.
Okay, so you're using that as a negative against the kid?
I don't understand.
Jesus God, would you give him a chance?
And now, the same veteran journalist who spent the entire summer building a case against the 5th-round pick is now defending him, making excuses for his struggles, and listing him alongside Myles Garrett as one of the only Browns who shows up to compete.
So I thought it was really good, and it's got to whet your appetite to see more, for sure.
So what happened? How did we get from, can we wait till the pass rush gets on, to, I want to see more of Shedeur for sure? Let's rewind and give you an insight into this sudden change of events. August 2025, training camp. Shedeur Sanders is fighting for his NFL life, while ESPN Cleveland's Tony Grossi is fighting to prove he's the smartest guy in every room. The veteran reporter spent months torching Sanders, questioning everything from his arm strength to his work ethic to whether he even wanted to play football.
You're supposed to improve with every appearance.
He played with the twos in the first game.
I'm not going to argue with him, all right? He had 5 series, and he went backwards on each of them.
Tony, there is this feeling from some people that he has blown everybody out of the water. But are you resisting that? Or are you acknowledging
he's getting better every day? He's very coachable, very likable.
He doesn't look like a 5th-round pick out there. Is that fair?
Can we wait till the pass rush and shoulder pads get on?
In November, Grossi literally went on air and asked, "Does Shedeur want to play?" That's not criticism. That's character assassination disguised as analysis. And Shedeur Sanders, son of prime time, blessed with his father's confidence and cursed with Cleveland's dysfunction, wasn't about to let it slide. August 8th, 2025, preseason opener, Carolina Panthers. Shedeur Sanders throws for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 30-10 blowout win, completing 14 of 23 passes with 0 turnovers. Not bad for a guy who supposedly didn't deserve first-round hype, right? But here's where it gets spicy. Instead of taking his W and heading to the locker room like a good little rookie, Sanders spotted Tony Grossi in the tunnel, and he walked right up to him. With cameras rolling, because of course well-off media, the Sanders family media company, was documenting everything, the rookie quarterback delivered one of the smoothest call-outs in recent NFL history.
Tony, I be hoping you got something positive to say about me. You always say negative stuff about me. And I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you. No. I ain't seen nothing positive that you ever said.
The beauty of this moment? Sanders wasn't angry. He wasn't yelling. He kept it light. He smiled. He asked a simple question that cut deeper than any insult could. "What did I do to you?" Grossi later claimed he initiated the conversation and was a little surprised by Sanders' comment, adding that he didn't appreciate that the conversation was filmed. The internet went ballistic. Clips went viral. Even Cam Newton jumped into the fray, calling Grossi nothing but a radio personality and spraying him with hater repellent on his podcast.
Well, people say he throws a lot before practice and after practice. Well, how counterproductive is that?
I'm sure there's a method to the madness.
What is it?
He's trying to get his arm
warming
right,
up.
don't?
If you're mad that a guy is sore from trying to prove to not only him, but guys and girls like you that I deserve to be the starter, you have somebody who has given Cleveland some type of relevance. And this is what you say?
Skip Bayless went nuclear, calling everyone who doubted Sanders petty fools, and in some cases, racist fools. This wasn't just a rookie defending himself. This was a cultural moment. This was the son of the most charismatic player in NFL history, showing the world he inherited more than just talent. He inherited that unshakable prime-time confidence. And Tony Grossi, he got quiet, real quiet.
So I thought it was really good, and it's got to whet your appetite to see more for sure.
Let's not forget what led to that viral moment. Tony Grossi didn't just question Shedeur Sanders. He launched a summer-long campaign to tear him down. When Shedeur Sanders dominated training camp, Grossi dismissed it as touch football and 10-yard passes in 7-on-7. When Sanders worked extra before and after practice to perfect his craft, Grossi called it counterproductive and blamed him for developing arm soreness.
What do you say when you hear that narrative that the Browns are
Mistreating him.
Yes.
I shake my head. I don't understand it at all. They complicated their own situation by drafting him.
And then came December 14th, 2025. Week 15, Soldier Field. The temperature was in the single digits. The wind chill made it feel like -3. And the Cleveland Browns, sitting at 3-10 with nothing to play for except ping pong balls in the draft lottery, rolled into Chicago with 4 backup offensive linemen. 4 backup offensive linemen. Let that sink in. The most important position group for any quarterback, especially a rookie making his 4th career start, was a patchwork mess of guys who weren't supposed to be starting. The Browns were rolling out yet another injured starting offensive line unit which featured 4 backups. Shedeur Sanders had no chance. He got destroyed. 18 of 35 for 177 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 5 sacks. Multiple hits where defenders came through untouched. NFL insider Jacina Anderson had a perfect example of it when a Chicago defender was unblocked getting a sack to end the first quarter. The Bears defense, leading the NFL in turnovers and playing for a playoff spot, feasted. Final score, 31-3, an absolute bloodbath. And this is where the story gets fascinating, because after months of criticism, after questioning Shedeur Sanders' toughness and desire and readiness, Tony Grossi watched that game and came to a stunning realization. This kid was getting sabotaged. Tony Grossi didn't call it an apology. Veteran reporters never do. They pivot. They adjust their analysis. They find new angles that happen to contradict everything they said 3 months ago. But make no mistake, what Grossi did on the Daily Gross podcast after that Chicago game was a mea culpa disguised as football analysis.
I felt for him. I thought Shedeur gave it all he had and tried to spark him a couple times. Got those bombs to Isaiah Bond, and they just couldn't knock it in.
I felt for him. 3 words that undo months of skepticism. 3 words that admit what everyone else already knew. Shedeur Sanders isn't the problem in Cleveland. He's the victim. Grossi spent 17 minutes breaking down every way the Browns failed their rookie quarterback. The wristband malfunction, where a laminated play card literally fell out during the first series, wasn't Sanders' fault. Grossi explained it corroborated what Sanders said after the game. One of the play cards, there's several, protected by the laminate covering, and one of them dropped out in the first series somehow. The offensive line getting obliterated, not on Sanders. The receivers dropping passes and running wrong routes, not on Sanders. Jerry Jeudy turning a potential touchdown into an interception, definitely not on Sanders. Grossi even went after Kevin Stefanski's coaching, pointing out the team looked unprepared from the moment they took the field for warm-ups. They practiced indoors before a road game in December Chicago weather. They looked like they didn't want to be there. But Shedeur Sanders, he showed up.
I think everyone understands in the building that the rookie quarterback was put in a very challenging position, that there are ups and downs. This is the first time he experienced a good team on the road, first time he experienced really cold weather, and he overcame that. He threw the ball pretty well. Yeah. This is just the life of a rookie quarterback.
Read between the lines. That's not analysis, that's defense. That's Grossi essentially admitting he judged Sanders too harshly, too quickly, with too little context. The man who spent months questioning whether Sanders could complete 10-yard passes in training camp was now making excuses for him throwing 3 picks in a blizzard with no offensive line and receivers who couldn't get open. Character development? Tony Grossi just ran an entire redemption arc. To understand the full weight of Grossi's pivot, you have to remember what happened 1 week before Chicago. Week 14, Tennessee Titans, December 8th, 2025. Shedeur Sanders went nuclear. Sanders threw for 364 yards with 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing score in 3rd career start. His 364 passing yards tied for the 3rd most by a Browns rookie in a game, and his 3 touchdown passes tied for the 2nd most in terms of passes. 23 of 42 of passing, 4 total touchdowns, bombs to Isaiah Bond, a 60-yard strike to Jerry Jeudy, a rushing touchdown where Sanders showed he could create with his legs. The kid was magnificent. The Browns still lost 31-29 because Kevin Stefanski inexplicably pulled Sanders for a failed 2-point Wildcat attempt that will haunt Cleveland fans forever. But nobody blamed Sanders. He proved beyond any doubt that he could play.
I'm going to say it again. Kevin Stefanski must be fired. I'm going to say it again and again and again. Kevin Stefanski did not want Shedeur Sanders, didn't even want him in the 5th round. Kevin Stefanski has done everything in his power.
Skip Bayless went on a 16-minute rant calling Sanders the most talented QB in his class. Joe Thomas, Browns legend and Hall of Fame tackle, said if Sanders finishes strong, Cleveland might have found their franchise guy. Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com predicted he'd be back in 2026. The hype was real. And then came Chicago, and the wheels fell off, and suddenly all those questions came flooding back. Can he handle pressure? Can he perform against elite defenses? Is he really the answer? This is why Grossi's defense of Sanders matters, because anyone can praise a quarterback who throws for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's easy. What takes courage, what takes honesty, is admitting when a quarterback plays poorly but isn't at fault. And Grossi did exactly that. Let's talk about what Tony Grossi is really saying when he defends Shedeur Sanders after that Chicago disaster. He's saying the Browns are broken. Organizationally, schematically, culturally, the whole operation is rotten from the top down. Grossi still thinks they'll draft another quarterback.
Oh, I think they draft a quarterback. I don't see they're capable of. He needs support. Anybody playing that position needs support. You're not going to get it the rest of the year. Let's face it.
Think about that. Even while defending Sanders, even while admitting the kid showed toughness and talent, Grossi believes the Browns will waste a top 5 pick on another quarterback instead of fixing the offensive line, upgrading the receivers, and building around the talent they already have. Because that's what Cleveland does. They chase shiny new toys instead of developing what's in front of them. They traded Joe Flacco, who took them to the playoffs, to make room for 4 quarterbacks, 2 of whom were gone by October. They gave Shedeur Sanders almost no first-team reps in training camp, then threw him into the fire without adequate support.
Your offensive line, your running game, and your receiver situation is such that nobody at quarterback is going to excel.
Nobody. Not Shedeur Sanders, not Cam Ward, not whoever they draft at pick 2 or 3, because the problem isn't the quarterback, it's everything else. And Tony Grossi, who spent months criticizing Sanders like he was the issue, finally understands that now. This isn't just a Cleveland Browns story. This is a story about evaluation, about context, about the difference between lazy criticism and thoughtful analysis. Whether it's in Cleveland or somewhere else, whether it's next year or 3 years from now, he's going to succeed. Because he's got his father's confidence, his mother's grace, and the work ethic of someone who knows exactly what it takes to prove doubters wrong. Tony Grossi finally figured that out. The Browns better figure it out too, before it's too late. The kid who was drafted 144th is already proving he should have gone first, and the reporter who spent months saying otherwise, he's the one who blinked.